Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
We love casting spells.
Connor doesn't know what Spain is.
I know what Spain is.
You can identify their flag.
Yeah. I know it
or
looks like.
French. You didn't like realize that
I can tell you where
you
Spain
need white
and
to have
Portugal
a
is.
French flag.
Yeah, she is white. She's Japanese.
That doesn't count.
Does it not?
No. For a color scheme, no, it doesn't count.
They're in place American lodging for.
That's
What did you throw at me?
my blood napkin.
God
There's no blood on
damn
it. It's mostly snot on it.
He threw his bodily fluid napkin at me.
There's nothing on here. I wiped my nose once and I've just been messing with it.
How dare you? I'm truly disgusted. Gaming.
Yeah?
Where are we? Okay, yep, I remembered. Nope, I remembered. The Child Consultation Center had finally contacted Sadako's uncle after finding out she was missing from school for 3 days in a row. I'm sure it was because of our efforts that Sadako was able to come to school today. However, we couldn't really celebrate after seeing her painful expression. Sadako, oh, we were so worried about you. Oh, now we get depressed Sadako arc. Are you sure nothing happened to you these past 3 days? What?
That's so fucking way to get into that voice. Sadako!
It worked! I really did have a fever the whole time. Oh shit, Han
That's
Yu.
the wrong voice.
Han Yu. I really did have a fever the whole time. I'm sorry for making you all worry. She started telling us why she hadn't been at school. Nobody had even asked her that.
Her uncle must have told her to say that to everyone. It's so painful to see her like this.
I'm like, everyone knows she's bullshitting, man. Rena seemed to be more angry than sad. Inside, I felt the same way. It felt like my anger was boiling up and lodging painfully in my throat. He was only letting Sadako come to school because he was now certain that she wouldn't do anything that would put him at a disadvantage. He was treating her like a tamed animal. Was it too late already? I thought of the broken Sadako I once saw in my imaginary world. Sadako, do your best, okay? Of course I will. I'm doing well, even though Nini isn't here with me. I slowly reached out my hand towards her head. Oh god. Oh, Keiichi. Oh, we're gambling here, dude. We're fucking gambling here. As a reward for doing your best, I'll pat your head. Do you mind? She didn't reply, but she didn't refuse either. I slowly put my hand on her head. She didn't react to it, but a tear rolled down from her eye all of a sudden. This is better. Was she crying because she didn't want to be touched? No, that wasn't it. Rather, it was the opposite. If I stopped patting her head, I'd hurt her feelings. Sadako felt obliged to survive without her Nini.
Obligated.
Close enough, I think.
It's similar.
But that didn't mean she didn't want anyone else's help. She couldn't appreciate my patting her head openly, and Sadako had no choice but to cry in silence.
Sadako-chan, we won't tell anyone if you cry right now.
And after Rena said that, Sadako started crying like a baby. I felt relieved knowing that it wasn't too late. She hadn't yet suffered from the fatal emotional wound that I saw in my imaginary world. However, her tears made it clear that I needed to save her as soon as possible, no matter what the whole world might say to me.
Sadako, everyone is going to help save you. I promise you that.
Sadako, we weren't just doing nothing for these past 3 days, right, Kei-chan? Right, we're making an appeal to the Child Consultation Center. We're asking them to save you from your horrible uncle. You don't have to do that for me. It's not just us. Right, Tomita-kun?
It's not just me either. Okamura and the whole class are fighting for you. That's right. We're all going to Child Consultation Center together. We're going to date too, right, Mayabara-san?
Yep. We're not going to give up until we save you. All the boys and the girls in the class answered my call with their cheers. Sadako seemed a little surprised, but then soon became expressionless again.
Is that why the social worker came to my house? That really wasn't necessary of you.
Sadako, did he hurt you because of that? She wouldn't answer. I couldn't tell what that silence really meant. Soon after, Chie-sensei entered the classroom. She must have heard the noise we were making. Hojo-san, are you feeling better now? We didn't know for sure if she was really sick or not. All of us, including Chie-sensei, were feeling the same thing.
Yes, I'm fine. I'm sorry for worrying you. Everything is alright now.
Will you be attending school regularly from now on?
Yes. You don't have to continue worrying about me. You don't have to talk to any more social workers.
Hojo-san, if you feel overwhelmed, you can come stay with me. I'm on your side, okay? You are welcome at my house anytime. Hey, Chie-sensei, don't act like you're the only one who could help her. Sadako, we're all on your side here. That's right. You can come to my apartment, too. We have an extra room, so you can use it as your own. Rika Gaming.
She can't do that. Sadako's my pet. She has to come back to my house, Sneepa
Star. See? You're not alone. Everyone is trying so hard to save you. But I don't know if people at the Child Consultation Center will ever understand how we feel. If what Oishi-san told me yesterday was true, then once they learn this isn't the will of all of Hinamizawa, once they learn it's only her classmates creating a stir, they might harden their stance against us. All we had planned was to go there with more people and ask for the same thing. The Child Consultation Center was going to say the same thing to us too. It wasn't going to be any different from yesterday. They'd tell us that it's only normal for her uncle to take care of Sadako because he's legally her guardian. They'd also tell us that there's no proof of any abuse happening. And why do they think that? Because Sadako won't admit she's being abused.
I appreciate your kindness, but I'm fine.
That's a lie.
Rena spoke with a smile, but her words cut sharp.
You're not okay, Sadako-chan. You're not fooling us well enough. All of us here, and many more people know that you're in pain right now. That's why we're doing our best to stand up and help you. We're reaching out our hands so that we can save you from your struggle. But we can't save you without you helping too.
There it is. She's right, Sadako. No matter what we say to the center, they'll tell us that there's no abuse because you're denying that it's happening. We all want to help you, but we can't if you don't accept our help.
I understand. I was just like you once. I thought no one could help me. I thought whatever I was doing was the best thing I could do. That's why I didn't even accept my friend's help. But someone taught me something. I can't even remember who it was, but someone taught me something. The world you want most is right in front of you, but you won't get there unless you take our hands. It doesn't mean anything if we're the only ones reaching out, Sadako-chan. You have to reach your hand out to us too. We can't take each other's hands and return to the world we wish for.
The Sharpie eyes. The Sharpie eyebrows, man. I can't.
Rena, who told you that? Oops. I don't remember. I think I heard it before I went to kindergarten. I can't remember who told me that. But I can still clearly remember that feeling. I'm here because of what that person taught me.
Keiji taught her that.
Kate?
I agree. Whoever it was who taught that to Rena, he wasn't wrong.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Smile. Sadako, do you think it's better not to ask for help? You think that that's the best thing you can do, But you're wrong about that. Look at yourself in the mirror. Is that the face you want to wear? I'm sure it's not. You don't want any part of this world. We can bring you back to the world you want to live in. We're reaching our hands out. Those hands are almost touching you. But we just can't reach far enough. If we could, we'd pull you by the hair to get you out of this mess. But we can't make it. So you have to reach out your own hand too. Our hands are right here. They're right in front of your nose. So take them. If you just reach out your hand, we could pull you up into a happier world.
Sadako Gaming.
Brr. Sadako real. Sadako real.
Is that? No. Okay.
What, the little birds on your little drawing?
No, this right here. I thought it was supposed to be Sonic the Hedgehog. Because of the you see the spikes and the red shoes, and then I realized it's one of the Palico armor sets. But I really thought they fucking put Sonic on this drawing.
You're a
I almost
goofy
had, like,
guy.
a stroke.
You're a goofy guy.
Sadako wouldn't reach out her hand. She just stared at mine as though praying for something. Her fingers were shaking, but Sadako wouldn't try to reach her hand towards mine. I felt like screaming out in anger, but I didn't want to scare her. If I did that, she'd never trust me again. All I could do was to wait for her to reach out her hand.
Thank you very much. Really, I do appreciate it. But I really am perfectly fine. I really...
Sadako. She needs more time. Sadako needed time to sort out her feelings, but her time limit was getting closer and closer. It was unfortunate that Sadako didn't even realize that herself. The next moment, we heard someone approaching our classroom. By the sound of the footsteps, we could tell it was the principal. And so, I couldn't tell why Sadako was twitching like she just got electrocuted. The door quickly opened, the principal strode inside. He seemed relieved to see Sadako back in school. However, Sadako reacted both dramatically and bizarrely. She let out an inexplicable scream, ran to the back of the classroom, and hid behind the curtain. No one in the classroom could understand her actions. We never even considered that it was because the principal had entered the room. The principal, however, realized it immediately. Sadako was scared to see him.
Hojo-kun, is everything alright?
He spoke in a kind voice, but Sadako was still afraid. It was plain as day to all of us that Sadako was frightened at the sight of the principal, but none of us could understand why. Are you okay, Sadako? You don't need to be afraid. We're all on your side. There it is.
My uncle is here.
Everyone here thought for sure that Sadako's uncle had shown up to get her. We all rose up at once, shielded Sadako in a circle, and searched the surroundings. I had yet to see her uncle's face, but we were in school now. If someone unfamiliar showed up, I could spot him immediately. If he tried to force Sadako to leave, then forget everything else. I'd end the fight right here. Mion and Shion are thinking the same thing.
That's very weird to say that.
However, while Sadako remained frightened, we couldn't find any sight of her uncle. Sadako was trembling as if he was already here inside our classroom, but there was no sight of him. Finally, I realized the truth. Sadako was frightened by the figure of the principal. I could understand that she'd be scared of his footsteps, but she was still terrified after he showed his face. This was not normal. It was made clear to me how much stress Sadako was dealing with. Rika-chan hushed Sadako and whispered into her ear.
It's okay. Your uncle isn't here. Your mean uncle isn't here.
But he's right there. My uncle is there. He's come to take me back home.
Calm down, Sadako. Did you take your shot today?
My uncle is here. Nini. It's not heroin. The shot that she has in her little skirt pocket.
You realize that like 3 years after the doctor scene in this chapter?
The cum syringe. Yep, that's probably the medicine.
What about the syringe that Rika
she was
showed
trying to inject Shion with?
Rena?
And Rena? Probably the same thing.
And
Shion? Uh-huh. Yep. It is the same thing. Because it's to help reduce the delusions and the paranoia and stress and hallucinations. Crazy.
Her shot? What are you talking about, Rika-chan?
Keiji, she needs EDA's help. Just tell him that Sadako's in an emergency. Hurry up. Chie, let's take her to the nurse's office. What's wrong, Sadako-chan? Sadako-chan!
Mion. Or Keiichi?
What?
Keiichi. Yeah, oh yeah, coach.
Let's call the coach. She needs to see a doctor. Does anyone have his number?
I do. Let's go use the phone in the teacher's office.
I headed to the nurse's office after I asked Mion to make a phone call to the doctor. There were lots of students surrounding the office. Chie-sensei was forcing out the other kids who had entered the room with them. I snuck behind her and entered it myself. Based. Sadako was lying down on the bed, still shaking with fear. Rena and Rika-chan were there with her and trying to calm her down. I spoke quietly as to not scare Sadako. Is she okay? What's going on with her?
I don't really know. She's very scared and she thought the principal was her uncle.
Hearing that made it easier to understand, but it was still hard to believe. He had been right in front of us and had spoken to her in such a kind voice. It was really hard to believe that she couldn't tell that it was the principal.
When there's a dark spot on the wall, what does it look like to you?
What?
People who hate flies will think it's a fly. It may look like a spider or a cockroach if that's what you hate. People tend to sense something they don't like when they can't really tell what something is. What that something is. She thought of her uncle when she heard the principal's footsteps.
But she was still scared even after he showed up.
The illness Sadako has prevents her from correcting those misassumptions easily.
What does she mean, illness? I tried to ask Rika-chan that, but Sadako became even more frightened. Rika-chan held her hand gently and tried to calm her down. Rena tapped my shoulder. She was indicating to me that we should leave Rika-chan and Sadako alone in the room. I agreed with her. Sadako was in a tremendous shock. We're going back to the classroom for now.
Yes, please do.
Rena and I left the nurse's office. My classmates were still asking Chie-sensei about Sadako's condition. As soon as they saw me, they walked over and asked how she was. Let's leave it up to Rika-chan for now. Sadako is very frightened. Please don't do anything to make her afraid. She will only get more scared if we continue to make this much noise.
Let's go back to the classroom. Coach will be here soon and he'll take care of her. You called him, right, Mi-chan?
Yeah. He'll be here right away. He said to let Rika-chan take care of her, and not to let her out of the nurse's office.
Get back to the class, everyone! We're going to start homeroom! God, imagine having to go back to class after this.
Oof. While the teacher took our attendance, a car arrived on the school premises. Everyone's attention was drawn to it. 3 people with white gowns came out of the vehicle. EDA ran into the school in a hurry. We were surprised to see 3 people show up. It made us all worry that Sadako was in worse shape than we'd realized. Chie-sensei felt the same way. She left the class to Mion and hurried to the nurse's office. Despite our worries, Sadako returned to the classroom about 10 minutes later. She was still as depressed as she was in the morning, but she was no longer in a state of panic.
Sadako, are you okay now? I think you should rest some more.
I'm sorry for scaring you. I'm fine now.
Sadako-chan.
Sadako seemed bothered by the way we were worrying about her. Chie-sensei also returned to the classroom. At the same time, I snuck out so I could talk to Irie and his staff. I saw him talking with Rika-chan. Coach, is Sadako really okay?
My brother-son. Yeah, she's fine for now. We should keep an eye on her, though. It was just a little panic attack. She's all good now.
Just a little panic attack? Are you sure? You were saying that Sadako has some kind of illness.
Well, I should be going. Please call me if anything happens.
Coach bowed and left without making any comment. It was like he was avoiding my question about Sadako's condition.
Keiji, can you promise to keep a secret?
She was like angry. Well, what?
She's determined, that's what I mean.
Oh, sure.
Sadako's been sick since a few years ago. She's been getting treatment for that illness for a long time.
It was surprising to hear that. That meant she was already sick when I first met her. I'd never seen any sign of that, though.
That disease can't be cured easily, but she can live a normal life as long as she gets proper treatment and medication.
I see. It sounds like it's under control. I had no idea that she was sick until you just told me about it. She should be fine, right? She was hardly in a good condition, so it makes me hesitant to use the word fine. What kind of disease could Sadako have? Based on what I saw earlier, she might have a mental illness rather than a physical one. It might be because of how she was abused in the past. I've heard that mental trauma is not easy to cure, and that it needs medical attention at times. That must be what's going on with her.
Sadako has to take 2 shots every day. Since her uncle was bullying her, she forgot to take her shot this morning.
You mean, Sadako becomes emotionally unstable if she doesn't take those shots? Rika-chan nodded quietly. Really, it was quite a shock. The Sadako I know is an energetic and mischievous girl who is always bouncing around like a super ball. I couldn't believe that she'd turned to a scared little animal just by forgetting to take a shot.
She becomes very afraid when she doesn't get her shots. When something happens suddenly, or when she hears a strange noise, or sees something unusual, she feels like they're the things that are coming to harm her.
So, she thought her uncle came to the school when she heard the principal's footsteps.
That's right. Once she convinced herself that the footsteps belonged to her uncle, that became the truth for her. Even after she saw the principal's face, her mind told her that it was her uncle.
I like how they're just explaining the disease.
Mm-hmm.
You said she can't organize information quickly enough. Is that what her illness is all about? I don't even want to know what the disease is called. I feel so bad for her. I had no clue that she's been fighting this condition for so long. That poor girl.
Keiji, please don't tell Sadako anything about her illness.
Why not? I guess I shouldn't ask. It might not be a nice thing to talk to her about, her mental illness. I guess that's what she's trying to tell me. She came back to the classroom, but is she okay now?
EDA gave her an injection, so she's alright for now.
She's seriously sick to the point where she requires a doctor's attention. I realized something in the next moment. Hey, maybe we can have her hospitalized. We could force her to stay in a hospital even if she refuses. That way we can save her from her uncle. Yeah, that's a great idea.
EDA suggested that before, but Sadako refused.
It's not about her refusing or not. If the doctor tells her to stay.
Keiji, if Sadako doesn't go back home, her uncle's gonna get rid of her Nini's room.
What?
Sadako feels obligated to protect the Hojo residents until Satoshi comes home.
He was taking advantage of her? Teppei was telling her that he'd get rid of Satoshi's room if she didn't stay with him. That's horrible.
Please don't tell anyone about this. She is not good at controlling herself, so she might get very angry about this.
She brought up Shion, but I was also furious about it. I had to calm down though. I needed everyone's help in order to save Sadako. I couldn't ruin everything by acting foolishly. I had no time to stop. Damn it! If Sadako asked us for help, we could help her right away. Just because she hadn't asked didn't mean she didn't need it. As her friends, we had to help her. Especially after learning that he was controlling her by threatening to get rid of Satoshi's room. She told you that he's threatening her, right? Can't we take that as an SOS? Rika-chan nodded slightly.
Keiichi, we don't have much time left.
That I was all too aware of. She had a panic attack just because she didn't take her shot this morning. But if she stayed in her current environment, it'd be too late to save her in a matter of days. I saw her future when I saw Sadako crying behind the curtain this morning. This is the third day. We have 10 times more people on our side than we had on the first day, but we're not going to stop there.
Keiichi, it won't be that easy to save Sadako. I've tried many times before, but never succeeded.
Really?
You don't remember, but you're different this time. I think you're getting very close to saving her. I believe that you're someone who can defeat fate.
What did she mean when I said I didn't remember? I didn't have time to ask questions, though. Yeah, you're right. I'll defeat fate, just watch me. A huge crowd had formed in front of the library. It was hard to believe that over 50 people had assembled in front of such a quiet place.
Hey, things are getting interesting today. That's Mayabara-san, he's our leader today. Yo, glad to meet you.
Kamada-kun had brought a bunch of athletes with him. They were all very tall and full of spirit. Being greeted by a bunch of big people at once made me feel uncomfortable. Whoops, I shouldn't feel so intimidated. The commander can't act bashful in front of his troops. Following after them were our nameless comrades who sympathized with our plight at Angelmort yesterday. I hate to say it, but I never expected any of them to actually show up. Seeing them all here to support us made me feel glad. They seemed plenty pumped up too, raising up fervorous cries? Shrieks? Kamada-kun did so much for me. He brought not only his teammates, but also people from Angelmort. I couldn't thank him enough.
Don't worry, Kay. We're all brothers at Angelmort. I heard from the people who went to the dessert fiesta today that the dessert named Innocent Blue Sundae is the best one. Let's eat it together this summer.
Based.
Tomatake
Flash!
I forgot he's here! I completely forgot!
Keiichi-kun, this is incredible. You gathered this many people by yourself?
I love Tomatake.
Hello. I never expected you to get this many people here. Good job.
I love Tomatake.
Tomatake-san, Takano-san, why are you two here?
Oh, you didn't know? They told us they'd come at the meeting last night. The coach is supposed to be here too.
There he is.
Sorry I made you wait so long. I'm sorry for being so late. It took me a while to leave the clinic. Wow, Coach, that's amazing. It's amazing.
Wow.
Wow.
The coach had brought some sashes, headbands, and banners with him. Huge? He was so well prepared. The sashes and headbands read, "Save Sadako Hojo. The consultation center must take action immediately." They were perfect for our protest.
God, they're terrible slogans.
They're perfect for our protest. He had brought lots of extras along too. Takano-san and Shion handed them out to other
Do you
supporters.
think those sound better in English, in Japanese or something, or like?
Probably, yeah.
Like surely that's.
Because it's one of those where it's like, you know, it's the age-old, like, you can't
just
translate
say
a
"Hey
joke.
ho," Tepe has to go, like.
That would probably not sound nearly as good in Japanese as it does in English.
You know, Coach, I loathe that style of yours. But you've earned some respect today. You know, I really like these things. Not all 60 of us know each other, but when we all wear the same headbands, I start to feel a real sense of unity. It feels like I'm back at the damn conflict. The people of Hinamizawa were wearing headbands and sashes just like these. It's like they were invincible. No one could make them stop.
Tomatake Flash was exactly right. Even the kids from Kinomiya were willing to wear the headbands. It was like we were supporting a baseball team.
Here, Rika-san. It took us a while to get all of these made. EDA. I'll do everything I can. I'll do my very best to help us rescue Satoko-chan. Here, these are yours, Keiji-kun. It felt like a field trip yesterday, but today's totally different.
Yeah, I agree. I figured showing up in greater numbers would intimidate them, but this has way more impact. Bluffs really are important after all.
It's just about time. Call us to attention, Captain.
Captain? I'm just the person who set this up.
Keiichi-kun, you need to act more like a leader. The picture. Get up there and stand strong.
Flash.
I love Tomitake Flash.
I walked out in front of everyone while Tomitake Flash took some pictures. Everyone went quiet and turned their gaze to me. I felt so nervous.
He's practicing for the auction.
But at the same time, I also felt really thrilled to see all of our comrades here. Thanks for being here today, everyone. As you know, it's been 4 days since my classmate Sadako Hojo was taken by her uncle. How can he claim to be her legal guardian? He used to beat her, and he neglected her for a whole year so he could live with his lover here in Okinomiya. The Child Consultation Center must urgently take care of this matter and save Sadako from him. However, they're putting her case on hold. They just don't understand how much of an emergency this is. Together, we're going to attempt our 3rd appeal so as to get them to save her as soon as possible.
For those who saw Sadako-chan at school today, you should all know she was at her wit's end after only 4 days. We can't leave her in that environment any longer.
This is our 3rd attempt. We have so many people on our side too. Let's let them know how important this is. We're not going to neglect our friend. Amazing! This really is the return of the dam conflict.
Minagoroshi wasn't even living here when that happened. This is quite interesting. There must be something about this village that brings people together.
That's just the culture here, I think. Something like this happening was inevitable. I come from a city where neighbors don't even know each other's faces. I'm a little jealous. Tokyo, 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 Tokyo.
That's a bit rich coming from someone who keeps complaining about the lack of trains.
Holy shit, you and Cameron?
I have not missioned trains in like months.
Trains. Train gaming, dude.
All units prepared for assault.
Oh, whoops. That's a jobber.
All units prepare for assault. Give us the order to lay our lives down today, Your Excellency.
Press our demands.
Oh, this not.
Press our demands. Rescue the target. Everyone follow K's command.
Yeah. Everyone had that much vigor before we even entered the building. They had to have heard what was going on outside. In fact, panicked-looking people were staring at us out the windows.
Well, here goes nothing.
Based idiot. Idiot pushed me forward and I took the first step of our 3rd attempt, with the weight of 60 people on my shoulders.
I just... You're at your shitty fucking job, you're making god-awful money, and you see this, you hear these motherfuckers outside, and you're just like, oh my god. They walk in, headbands, sashes, banners, everything. Like, fuck, man. Like, I don't want to deal with this shit again.
We went through the automatic doors and slowly crossed 20 meters to the counter. How will they take this? The first day it was just a counselor. Yesterday it was a manager. Think we'll get the guy in charge today?
I don't know, but I'm sure they'll understand just how much we care about her. Hello, how may I help you today?
Same as yesterday. We're here to appeal for immediate action on behalf of Sadako Hojo. At the far end of the office, I saw the manager yesterday talking to a guy sitting behind an important looking desk. I could tell he was intimidated to see so many people. Shion said that this was the day we'd finally close the deal, but I couldn't be that optimistic yet. To be honest, our current numbers were probably the maximum number of people that I could get. So, what would we do if things didn't work out today? I put up a brave front, but internally I was nearly cracking with the anxiety. But I looked at the hopeful, encouraging expression on Rena's face as she walked beside me, helped me disperse those timid feelings. Rena might hold the very same worries inside of her heart. Everyone must be wondering if we can really save Sadako or not. But today, we're supporting each other by hiding those worries. That was unmistakably our team's strong point. We could never have gathered so much energy and strength if we were alone. That power can only be created when people work together. It takes forever for a drop of water to wear away at one rock, but a tsunami can break it into pieces in a second. The manager approached the counter. He started speaking to me, saying that as the meeting room wasn't open today, he couldn't let us all into one room. However, the head of the office was willing to see us, so we could use the reception area in front of his desk. Since the room is small, however, he asked us to choose 3 representatives to come inside.
I am truly sorry. We hope you understand this is out of concern for our visitors, and show that you're willing to cooperate.
We were here with all these people, and they were only letting 3 of us inside? I wanted to refuse their offer, but Mion told me to take it.
If we occupied the office with our numbers, they could fault us for obstructing their business. I think they're intimidated enough. The head of the office is willing to talk with you today. I think that's the best treatment you can get from them.
They're all shaking from like scaredy cats.
Meow meow. Still, it's definitely a lie that the meeting room isn't available today.
I think so too, but Mi-chan is right. I think they're intimidated enough. The head of the office is type of the whole organization. If he's willing to talk to us, we might have to compromise as well. If we refuse to see him, that will go on the record. We don't want them to be able to claim that we refuse to talk to him.
I think we should make it clear that we're here to have a conversation.
It was good to get suggestions from so many different people. If it was only me, I would have just gotten pissed off and left. That was probably not the best idea. Once again, I felt how important it was that we were a team. I understand. 3 of us will go talk to him then. But who should it be?
Icon, who should it be?
I mean, it's obviously Keiichi, Ren, and Mion, right? The Chad lineup is Keiichi, Rika, Irie. That is the Chad lineup.
That is like, yeah, here's an actual doctor.
Here's an actual doctor and someone that has known her, like, and lived with her entire fucking life. But also has lived with her for 100 fucking years and knows everything about her inside and out.
Right.
That is the Chad lineup. Is that what he'll go with? Probably not.
Keiichi-kun, you have to go. Other than you, I think Coach and Mi-chan would be the best choice.
I was close. I was close.
If the head of the office...
Ooh.
If the head of the office recognizes me, they'll think that this is the Sonozaki family's doing. I can't let him think that, since my family has nothing to do with this case. I'm really sorry, but it's those adult circumstances again. Saving Sadako is our fight. That old hag has nothing to do with this anyway. How about you, Renasan? You should go and talk with them.
I don't mind, but how about you, Rika-chan?
No way I'm right. There's no shot. There's no shot that I'm right.
As Sadako-chan's best friend, I think...
As Sadako-chan's best friend, I think you should be a representative.
Rika-chan's a quiet girl, so it'd be hard for them to understand what she's thinking. However, she's Sadako's best friend. She had been living with her for the past year, as if they were family. She has the strongest bond with Sadako out of any of us.
Damn, you called it.
I'm just good, man. I'm just that good.
Alright, Coach, Rika-chan, and me, we're going in.
Roger. I'll get everyone under control.
And Mion winked at me and then started explaining the situation to everyone else.
K-Mion stocks. I love this game.
Do we cut here? I think
Yeah, we can cut here.
Okay.